Gonna give it a minute or two here. All right, apologies. Wanted to let the dogs out quick before we got things started, and they were taking their time. We'll hop over here. All right, so yesterday, of course, we finished up the other ear. We had done this one previously over the weekend, and then I got this guy done yesterday. Feels like I might need to bake a little bit more, but it's fine. We're not going to be messing with this guy a lot today. Well, I take that back. We are, but we're not going to be working on the face and stuff. I thought we might get into that yesterday when I was talking about things yesterday. I thought that'd be what we would kind of get into today. However, towards the end of the stream, I got to thinking, with the hair pointing down this direction as it comes down, we're going to want it to overlap the back, which means we need to do the back first, which means we need to do the hindquarters first, and the tail. So, what do we need to do to get the hindquarters done? Well, we need to finish the feet and the legs. And before we can do that, I want to get this guy situated with his base, because I don't want to sculpt the toes until he's seated in his position on the base. So today, we are going to start out working on the base. We're going to get a layer of clay down and kind of do some shaping and stuff for the terrain, and a general layout. We'll get the markers put in where his anchors on the armature will go into the base so that I can drill those out. And we'll also start building out the tail and hopefully slap some clay on there and start working on texture today. We'll see what all we can get into, and we'll go from there. But like I said, we are going to start off with the base today. And before we do that, I do need to do a little bit of sanding on the base, just to kind of get some of the rough edges down, and that way it's done. I guess I don't need to do any thorough sanding just yet, because I can always do some later once the clay is on the top. But it's not going to hurt to get some of that out of the way, and especially on the top edges and whatnot. So that is the plan for today, and we'll see what all we can get done. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for being here. If you're watching the VOD, sit back, relax, put on whatever tunes you like, and enjoy. Let's get into it. Grab a drink real quick before I get started here. Boy, that's got some warp. It almost looks like warping, but it's smooth across the top. That's strange. Huh. It's kind of the way the light's hitting it. It almost looks like bumps right in here, but yeah, it's smooth. But anyway, I got some, what is this? 220. I'll just kind of, this is super soft wood. It sands down pretty easy. I just get these little bases at the hobby store. It'd probably be more economical if I had just some sheets of wood, but I don't have anything to do the detail on this, you know. I got a circular saw, I got a table saw, and I got a band saw and a handheld router, but that's about the extent of my woodworking tools at present, mostly just due to the lack of space. In the future, when if and when we find a new place, you know, we've talked about it. I own my home, but I quickly ran out of space when it was not just me here. My 2-car garage was more than ample room for just me, but once you get 2 cars in there, I'm lucky I can even fit our mower. And even it has to kind of be finagled, so definitely not enough room for a proper wood shop or anything like that. So I would like to, in the future, find a place that will provide the space for a workshop that I'm looking for. And maybe even have like the wood shop and the studio all connected. That would be great. So maybe in the future, we shall see. And then of course I'll have to clean off the desk here. I don't want a bunch of dust laying around. My office gets dusty enough as it is with the rats in their cage in here, and most especially the bearded dragon with her natural substrate. When she starts getting crazy in there, it kicks up dust, and got to dust in here like once a week, and I feel like that's not even enough. That's another thing too, having a proper workspace. Some stuff I have to kind of take it outside to work on it just because of fumes, and can't have that exposed to the animals and whatnot, you know? Like any projects where I'm doing anything with a lot of resin, definitely can't be done in this space. A little bit of UV resin's not a problem, but If I was using an excessive amount, that would become an issue for the poor rats. Top surface doesn't really need it. I'm gonna kind of run this over it though, just to smooth it down a little bit, but most importantly, put a little bit of texture into the surface for more gripping on the clay's part. Granted, I will be using liquid Sculpting, but okay. Wipe off the dust on my gloves first and foremost. And this is just a damp rag I sprayed with ISO. I don't want water because that'll soak into the wood and take forever to dry, whereas the alcohol will evaporate quickly and not even really soak into the surface. So plus these aren't very expensive at all. $2.99 for this. I mean, yeah, much cheaper if I did it myself, but definitely not breaking the bank though. Hopefully everybody's having a good week. I know this is a super busy time of year for a lot of us. Hey, Fire Shadow, what's up? Just got done doing a little sanding. Another bit of prep work we need to do is see about dissecting this guy. We need him to fit into the base, but it's got this big fat thing on the end here. Oh. I'm gonna go ahead and get my good hobby knife. This is the one, not the one that I normally use on stream. I keep this one for actual cutting. About to make some coffee? Nice. Oh, I'm doing well, man. I am doing well. see what happens if we... Oh, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be. That's actually hard. What do you think? Serrated scissors? Maybe. Might have to take a saw to that thing. Yeah? Maybe? Oh, made it through. I don't want to cut that cable all the way though. What are we fighting against here? Oh, damn. Okay, not a big deal. We take this off. Cut this down. Whoop, there it goes. Then what I'll do is fill that with hot glue, probably. And get this anchored back in there. All right. Well, bolt cutters. I don't have any bolt cutters. I got wire snips and these heavy duty scissors and wire cutters, but okay, trash for this. Let's get the glue gun out. Also, a bit of a change up today. We're listening to not a playlist I made, but a 70s rock playlist. So enjoy. I know I will. This is my little tiny cheap glue gun. I may get a better one in the future. It does its job though, you know? It works. One nice thing about my new hobby table here is it has a built-in power strip. So I can literally just plug everything into the side of the table. My lights, my tablet, my glue gun, anything else I might need. And then at the end of stream, I just hit the power switch and it turns off all the lights and I'm good to go. Yeah, we'll just need to work some hot glue in there and get this guy fixed into place. And after we're done with that, we'll start getting some clay slapped onto the surface here. Didn't really have to do this right now, but that way it's done. we don't have to worry about it. And it'll be easier to get the spacing down, and I can get the hole marked for drilling, you know, along with where his feet are going to go. But I'm real happy with how things are turning out. Like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, I know yesterday I mentioned maybe doing facial hair today, working into that region. But then, of course, we discovered and planning things out, I'd be going down this way. Or no. Yes. It'd start back here and work its way down. So the furry bits would be pointed down, which we want to overlap the back hair, which will be running down this way, starting from this side and working back up to the neck. So if we want overlap, this needs to be done first. But before we do this, we need to do this. And before I can do this, I need to get the legs sculpted, which I want to do with him connected to the base. So that is the explanation as to why we had such a sudden change of plans here today. Must be a super busy day for everybody. Also, Fire Shadow. Wow. Fire Shadow, what the hell is the Minecraft pickaxe icon by your name? Blue gun's getting there. Minecraft turned 15 years old recently. Good lord. That's crazy. That is crazy. Did you watch the Xbox Game Showcase? Holy crap, what a good show. That got me excited for Perfect Dark, even though it's going to be a while. I knew it, man. As soon as they started playing that trailer, I'm like, Carrington Institute? This is Perfect Dark! You use this, you get the axe? Oh. Interesting. I'm just gonna get a bunch of glue in there to kind of build out a base for everything. We'll get this guy kind of seated in all of this as well. I guess put him up against the edge. And do one of these. Twist that around. Let that set, and then I'll fill it in. Kind of roll this around so the glue doesn't all run. I got hot glue all over me. As it's setting, kind of twist it Move that glue around a little bit. Let that set up a little bit more. And then I'll kind of go around the edge again. Got an ad break coming up already. Goodness. That means time is moving fast. Haven't watched any of the showcases. Well, the only one I really watched is Xbox. Summer Games Fest, I just waited till after the fact, mostly because we forgot about it. And then I just went through and watched the trailers. All right, that's setting up nicely. Get that glue booger off there. And I need a tool. There we go. Set that guy aside. He should be fine for now. And let's unplug this glue gun. Yeah, I'm going to get up and unplug it. And surprise, I'll accidentally hit the switch in the process and turn off all the lights on you. I'm sorry. Let that cool for a minute. Now, I swear these cameras, man. It looks brighter now than I did when I was setting up stream. That makes 0 sense. All right. Should be good. Gonna put that over here while it cools off. Get this out of the way and push our Jerboa back because I'm gonna have to roll some clay. Got some black clay on there. Whoops. Not that it matters, but I am gonna scrape that off. This is Sculpty, of course. We're doing cost clay for the sculpt, but I had this Sculpty left over from the candle, and I still have another pound of this. So figured this would be good to use for the base. And get that thickness up. We got some cos clay in there. Hold up. I think I'm gonna go with the 2 setting on that. And first things first, I'll just roll out all of these and then start rolling out some bigger sheets. I'm gonna take this a little bit smaller just to kind of get this clay worked a little bit better. And then let's go back to 2. All right. Let's see. That's still a little bit warm. Rather difficult here. Because if I hold down one side, the other side wants to move. All right. Got that done. I don't like this process, but it is what it is, and it doesn't take too terribly long at least, so. Hey, Rose. Happy Tuesday.
Hello!
Hello. Hope you're having a good day. Mine started off better today than yesterday. There was no groundhog in my garage. That's always a win, right? Although when I was sitting in here at my desk last night playing some Fallout, I kept hearing something. And I definitely have a mouse down in the garage somewhere, because the one where my wall is right over here, follow that wall straight down into the lower level, and it's the garage door wall, or the back garage wall. And I could hear something making a ruckus. Definitely a mouse. So there's a nice freshly armed trap down there waiting for him. Some more of my new coat. Nice. Maybe heavy. The wrestling has begun already. I'm going to be doing a little bit of wrestling with Clay here today. Getting this Clay on the base. That way we can get the Jerboa on here. And then I can do his legs and feet so we can continue on with the fur. I think that's going to be the best course of action here, given the direction of the fur and the overlaps and all of that. We definitely need to get those hindquarters done, but I don't want to do those until I've got the feet, once again, for overlapping fur reasons. Hey, Miss Diane, welcome in. Happy Tuesday to you as well. So, now the arduous process of putting clay on large surfaces. This is the way I do it. Maybe other people do it different. I don't know. But it works for me. So this is how I do it. This is how I did the... Actually, basically, yeah, no, it is the same size base I used for Jack, my Santa Jack diorama and sculpt. But the difference is it was the oval base, not the... What is this even? Octagon? I don't like that. Again, it doesn't really matter, because we'll blend, and so what I'll do is just kind of piece in some. Press in the sides. We'll trim all of this. Yeah, happy Tuesday. Hopefully everybody's week is treating them well. Like I said, today's being a little nicer to me than yesterday so far. Boy, this is a big difference coming from cosplay. I'll tell you what. Gotta actually put some pressure into Sculpey. Then what I'll probably do, once I smooth this seam, I've got a roller. Hopefully we can flatten that out. And then we'll trim the sides up. And I'll start, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For now, let's focus on the task at hand. The most questionable looking clay tool ever. I needed a roller, okay? All they have is this. It is absolutely a roller. Don't know why it has to look that way. Perfect. Okay. That should be good for that. I almost wanted to use my hobby knife, but I don't really want it to cut into the wood, so let's see. This thing just, it's too thick. Let's go with this guy. We'll start off with a basic, just getting the excess off. Okay. So, let's see. His feet are going to extend out about an inch. Gotta be careful right there. His feet will extend out about an inch from the bend, the bottom bend. So I'm thinking like right in this ballpark. His feet will come out to about this region. His tail is still over the base. Thanks, Miss Diane. And then this up in the front. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, we need to get the base done so I can get him into the base and work on his feet and then work on the fur up through his legs, and that way I can do his back and we can do his face after that. So now let's do a proper trim. Hopefully. Oh, I just goofed it. I just goofed it. Oh no. It's fine. I'm gonna bring it down to the... That's almost perfect actually. Because then I just... Hey, very nice. Boy, 70s mix is 70s rock mix for the win today. Nice change up. I like it. Oh, I'm just throwing stuff everywhere today. And once we get this done, we'll start working on the actual structure on the base. Probably going to build up a little portion to add a little bit of, height diversity in the terrain. What I'll do is I'll just roll out this clay again, just kind of cut some sheets at random shapes and just kind of place them and blend them, and then we'll start working on surface texture. Okay. Turn this music up. Why is it so quiet? Okay. Got a little air bubble we need to see to. Okay. That piece is probably usable, so we'll keep that. Let's roll this out real quick and then take a... Actually, yeah, let's take a quick break because the ads are coming up. And then we'll continue. Let's hop over here for a moment, just a moment. All right. Amazon is advertising 40 series cards for 500 if I only had the money. Well, depending on what 40 series. I mean, obviously, any of the 40 series for some is an upgrade, but gotta take into consideration some of them are much better than others, you know. I'm definitely glad I waited till they released the super line. The 4070 Super's been a substantial upgrade from the 2080 Super, which was a great card, lasted me several years, and still works, but it was time. PNY GeForce 4060 Ti 489. That's not bad. What do you have right now? Yep, there goes the ad break. 2060. Yeah, it would be a good upgrade for you. I mean, it's a big jump. It'll be interesting to see some of the video cards coming in the coming years with NVIDIA's focus on AI and everything. Let's take a look here in the Discord. Rose has been busy. Look at this, man. How awesome is that? Nice, very nice work, Rose. This thing's really coming together. We're gonna skip this song in a moment. And the sewing begins. The sewing begins. Sewing more of the new coat. Very nice. Where's my other browser window? Sorry, great song. Don't want to hear it. I guess we're listening to some Elton John. All right, is the ad break over? Ad break has ended. Welcome back. Probable start on a new dress after the coat. Oh boy. Sewing machine. And then, of course, this is going to get, once it's baked and everything, once it's ready, the base is going to get coated or covered in a sand ballast. Have the itch to make a new dress? If I sewed and made things, I would just make hoodies all the time, I feel like, you know? I love me some hoodies. Now, to live somewhere where I can wear hoodies all year, but also not freeze to death, you know? I'm not subbed yet. I'm not seeing the ads, just the ad banners. On the side of the video, that's a new thing they're doing, and I hope they do more of it because that's actually not bad. I've seen it a couple times myself, Fire Shadow. It's like an ad banner that you would see on a website that kind of like shrinks the video size a little bit, but you still see and hear the video, and it's just kind of to the side. That's one of the new ad formats they're doing, and yes, please, more of that, because that is not intrusive. I can deal with that. You know? We need to trim this down to size. Maybe. There we go. So here's what I'm thinking, like maybe add like a couple layers and build it up a little bit. Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not a video, it's like an ad banner. Like you would see on the side of a website or something, you know? I don't know. What do you think? Should we add a little bit of depth variation to this? Yeah, see, that's going to mess with the feet. Some depth variation, yeah. Let's roll this back out. I really dig this song. I always have. Good tune. RTX 4070 Super 12 gig for $589 with Prime. I got the 4070 Ti Super, and I think that was like 800 for some comparison. But then again, that may be a different price now. I don't know. I almost want to flip this around. Um, Just kind of thinking. All right, let's see what this looks like if I start blending these down. Might go with a 4090. Boy, you're going to spend some money on that. Those are like, well, the 4080 is like $1,200, dude. I was contemplating the 4080, but I couldn't justify the extra $400 or so plus tax. Seasonal work just won't cut it. Yeah. That shit's stressful too, you know? I've been there. Out of high school, that's about all I could find was seasonal jobs for the longest time. We'll be taking a ball of foil and going over this to rough it up. So all of this blending mess is good. It'll hopefully get kind of covered up. Plus we got to do like surface cracks and all of that, because we're talking about like a dry, arid environment here. Might have to do some corrections on this edge though. Yep, definitely will. We'll hold off on that though until after we've done the, let me trim off the excess.
Spoon!
Indeed. All hail the spoon. Look at the wonders that it does. Got a little bit of a blend there, so we're not working with defined shapes or anything. We get to make a bunch of little rocks too. I was thinking about just going and finding some rocks, but I was like, we'll make rocks. It's fine. Plus around here, all the little pebbles are either too tiny or too big, so. At least for this project. Please don't think I'm being rude, but Stevie's. Wait. What? Stevie is on Salon, gonna pop over? Oh, I don't know what that means, but all right. Unless that was just autocorrect, butchering your. But yeah, whatever you're up to, Miss Diane, by all means, no worries. trying to get this blended so we can move on to texturing. All right. I need to smooth this thing. I'm gonna go with a bit of extra ISO for this since it's a big surface we're working with and we need to really kind of brush over this. And then around the base, I'll just kind of, or where the seam is, I'll just kind of run my finger around it, kind of blend out that spoon mark. I might actually repeat this process a little bit just to kind of create some more variation. I also find doing it with just kind of running my finger around here kind of creates a bit more of a natural blend anyway, you know? I got some liquid Sculpey in there. Not a big deal, but looks messy. Yeah, I think we're gonna do some more of that. Just kind of randomly throughout, but I'm gonna need a little bit more clay, I think. Let me go pull my clay box out. See if I have any more open Sculpey. If not, I'll just have to get that new unopened pound. New pack it is. Probably just gonna, unless things pick up, probably just gonna work on the base here today, honestly. Tuesdays seem to be pretty hit and miss, you know? Oh, this stuff is so much harder than cosplay. Guess everybody's getting bored with the Jerboa, huh? I don't know, man. Oh no. I'll join you on that one. Thanks for hanging out, Rose, and anyone else out there lurking. I appreciate you guys. We had a mid-air collision. Oh shit. I actually landed that. Okay then. I figured I would be going over to the left side of the screen and just dropping straight down. Thanks, Fire Shadow. Ah, you were the one that got stuck on the wall. Gotcha. Normally that happens to me. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and blend these real quick. Like I said, we'll see how things go. If things pick up, we'll keep going, but if it's going to be a quiet day, I'll just finish up the base today and we'll work on everything else on Thursday. Thunderpup, well, welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having a good day today. We are working on the base for this guy because I need to be able to put him on the base before we continue with the sculpt. And I need my small spoon. Where's the small spoon? Where are you hiding? There you are. It sounds like Minchie's going to be leaving me unsupervised again at the beginning of next month. Of course, it's around a holiday, though, so I don't know how good that's going to do for streaming, but... Thanks, Thunderpup. Yeah, this is absolutely the biggest project I've done so far. And since I'm doing some smoothing, and that's it, we'll just hop over here. Down in the bottom right, you can see some of my previous work. Thanks, Fire Shadow. I'm not sure there was anything suggestive happening here with this clay, though. Unless... I don't know. And Thunderpup, you can also find all of that on my YouTube channel. Just, you know, if you're interested. I got showcase videos for all of those projects, and all the older projects do have time-lapse videos, but moving forward, now that I'm streaming everything, I'm just doing showcase videos, and then anybody interested in the process, I save all these VODs to my secondary channel on YouTube, and everything gets a playlist of its own, so all there for anyone interested. And if you need a link, let me know. You can check the panels, but I'm not going to I don't want to bombard you with links or anything. I know this is Twitch, but we don't really need to see spooning. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with spooning. I think that's innocent compared to what goes on Twitch. Hot tub sculpting stream, anyone? You know what it is? Here's what I need to do. I need to wear green underwear, right? And then have a camera set up on the sculpt and also a camera set up on my butt. And then just chroma key the camera where I'm sculpting onto my butt. And that's the recipe for success on Twitch, right? That's how it works. All right, let's get this guy blended in here. And we'll start smoothing everything out. I'll take another look at it and see if I want to add a little bit more in before we start going through and heating this thing up with a ball of aluminum foil. Do the green underwear thing, but I don't think you're properly equipped for that. I don't know, man. I don't think some of the people doing it are properly equipped for it either. They are equipped with an inflated self of, or sense of their own self, that's for sure. Just kind of want this to kind of flow and not be so defined on all sides. I know this will look much better, you know, when it's painted and the ballast is on it and all of that. But yeah, I hate this process because it looks like garbage at the start. Yeah, I definitely got some liquid Sculpting in there. Obviously not a problem. It just makes everything messy there. Of the piranha plant? Yeah, that's my Mario Little Shop of Horrors mashup. A little inspiration from the Mario piranha plants, of course, as you said, and then a little touch of Audrey too from Little Shop of Horrors. Which is what the Mushroom House coffee can is, a play on the Maxwell House coffee can, of course, that Seymour has Audrey 2 in when she's tiny. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making that one. Kind of learning, like it was all a process, really. Like, how do I make this work? Specifically the mouth, but I got it. It went together pretty well and holding up just fine. Now, if I was sculpting that one on stream, Fire Shadow, for a minute, the lower and bottom, or the top and bottom halves of the jaw on the piranha plant, they absolutely looked questionable, especially when I started doing the vein detail. Menchie was kind of disturbed, honestly. Yeah, that one certainly looked a little questionable. But yeah, the piranha plant's one of my favorites. My Santa Jack, that was like the third sculpture I did after starting the YouTube channel, and I absolutely love that one. It was so much fun to make. I'm really happy with how he turned out, and I'm actually looking forward to, around Halloween time this year, I very much plan to do another Jack Skellington sculpt in his Halloween suit. You know, his traditional black and white pinstripe. Not looking forward to painting the pinstripes, but definitely looking forward to the sculpture. Thanks, Thunderpup. Yeah, I kind of surprised myself on that one because I knew going into it his face was going to be a little bit difficult, because whenever you see something that's like Nightmare Before Christmas but not official, one of the biggest things that stands out if it's not quite right is the shape of Jack's head, because it's not perfectly circle. It's kind of like an oblong shape in a way, I guess. But I think I got the shape just right on that guy. So hopefully I can replicate that when I do the next one. I say that, and the people that worked on the film made hundreds of variations of that head. I could not imagine. I still kind of feel like we need something up in this region here. Maybe just... I almost need to like bleed these two together here. I kind of just make it all... Maybe that's what I'll do. And see how the piranha plant could be questionable? Candle could have been a bit questionable at first. Oh, it absolutely was questionable at first. Especially because I was using this clay and not the cast clay, which is gray, of course. I was using this. So I'm just sitting here playing with this like phallic flesh-colored thing on stream that you could only see a portion of because it was long. That's what she said. And didn't fit in frame all the time, you know? Yeah, we got some Queen in, Rose. I'm kind of digging this 70s rock list here. I could stand to have a bit more consistent upbeat 70s rock, but not bad for a pre-made playlist. Yeah, this flesh-colored clay. Yeah, this is the clay that I used to always use is Sculpey. But with the Jerboa, I started using Cos clay. I've used Cos clay for like little bits and pieces. For instance, I used it for Jack Skellington's hands. But I predominantly always use Sculpey. And really digging the Cos clay, but I had this left over, so that's why I figured I'd just use it on the base. We're going to blend some of the back side of this in just because I don't want it to be like a solid form shape up against this. I kind of want them to hopefully just kind of flow together here and then blend into the ground to some extent. Well, it's all the ground, but you know what I mean. That's better. Once I get this blended and we add texture. What time is it getting to be anyway? Okay, just wanted to make sure we got some time before I have to stop and give the dog her meds. I do need to take a quick restroom break though. Yeah, I think, you know what it is? I think there's cosplay. A little bit of residue in my ISO. Not cosplay, liquid Sculpey. Which is just liquid clay, so it's not a problem. It's just annoying. It leaves that residue when I'm trying to blend everything. Then once we're done with this, we'll get the texture in, clean up the edges, cracking, you know, like the ground cracking detail, hopefully. Much better, much better. That guy needs some attention though. Let's make this a little bit less defined on all sides. A little bit of definition is all well and good, but this is not a rock. It's just a lump of dirt, basically, kind of. So we don't want it to have a whole lot of definition there. Is there a difference? So they're both polymer clay Thunderpup. So they don't air dry. You bake them at a low temperature, 275, to cure them. Both of them are the same in that regard. The difference is Sculpey is more of a hard plastic finish once it's cured, and Cos clay is almost like a more of a rubbery consistency. It still gets a little bit, you know, the stiffness to it, but it's flexible. There's a lot more flex in it, like a rubber, as opposed to a hard plastic. And a lot of people have started using it, and that's what convinced me to use it, because it makes your sculptures that much more durable, you know what I mean? Whereas Sculpey, like, and this is why I used Cos clay even when I was still using Sculpey for like hands, because that way, you know, you bump a finger, it's a small piece, right? And with Sculpey, it's just gonna break. But with Cos clay, I'll show you here. This is all baked. Everything you see here, this is all baked. I got this little fur right here, and I can literally just, you know, move it around and it's not going to snap off. You don't want to go overboard and crazy with it, but you know, a lot more forgiving if it gets bumped or during painting, things like that. Plus, I'll tell you what, it takes, if you're used to working with Sculpey, it takes a little bit of time. Took me a couple days to get a feel for that because it works up much softer. And at first I was struggling because of that, but once I got a feel for it, it makes this stuff feel awful to work with. I'll be honest. That stuff, it blends and spreads like butter once you've got it working. It's super nice. And that's the medium firm. I have not tried the firm. Like their most firm clay. Because I always went with medium on Sculpey. Because their firm is just too much. It's super hard to work with. But I may try some Acos Clay's firm at some point, just out of curiosity. Because temperature does make a difference when you're working with this stuff. Room temperature, if you're prone to cold hands, you're going to want a softer, like with Acos Clay, I would say medium firmness, you're fine. With this, medium firmness would be pushing it if you have cold hands in a cold environment. But I always have warm hands. And right now it's summertime, so it's warmer air, even with the AC on. And that gets super soft. So I might try their firm, but I am getting the hang of the medium, so it's not a huge deal. But I highly recommend Acos Clay. I think it's a little bit more expensive, but not by much. And quite honestly, I would say the price difference is worth it in my opinion. Needle's dead? Oh no! Cries in cold hands. Yeah, I've always run hot. Minchie says it's always freezing because she goes to bed early. She goes to bed at like 9 p.m. That's way too early for me. And she always says the bed's freezing until I come to bed. So, like an oven, I guess. All right, I think we're ready for texture, but like I said, I need to take a quick stand and stretch and use the restroom break. And then we'll be dabbing this thing with a ball of foil for a little bit. And we're going to make some little pebbles. I doubt they'll be applied. We'll probably just add them after the fact. This whole thing will get painted. The clay will be painted the sandy, like arid kind of soil. The base will be black. We'll put felt on the bottom as I do with all of them. But this is going to get covered with a sand ballast, which I'll show you. Yeah. Basically, we brush this down with a PVA glue, and then I pour this over and get it all even, you know, and applied. Let that dry, and we hit it again with a spray glue, and let that sit. So we also, of course, have the cactus that'll be going in right in this general region. Pebbles to be applied. I've got some various mosses, like the brown and gray mosses that you can get for floral arrangements and whatnot. So we might be able to work some of that in. I do enjoy, this part's kind of tedious and a pain, but I do enjoy making bases, especially when, like the Nightmare Before Christmas diorama I did with the sculpt. That was so much fun. And like doing the wood flooring on the base, it was basically the same process. Liquid Sculpey on the wood, put the clay on, blend it in, cut the edges, get it all ready, and then going in, I put saran wrap over it. That's a trick. If you don't know, it's a good trick. If I were to just take this guy and start doing wood grain, we'd end up with a bunch of little clay boogers where it gets worked up, and you can tend to cut too deep. If you put saran wrap over it, you can carve in without dragging up any clay. So that's what I did for that. It was just a lot of fun. Really just a fun project. But yeah, let's go ahead and get a quick restroom break in. And I don't know if we'll do the crack detail yet or start. It might be best to do that, to be honest, and then hit it with the foil. So we'll do that here once we get back. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I do hope you're enjoying a bit of a quiet Tuesday. We all got a lot of stuff going on this time of year, and I totally get that. We're going to get this base done at the very least today, so that Thursday I can have this guy attached if we need him to be. And we can carry on with the sculpt itself. So I'm going to put the break screen up. Give me just a few, and we'll get right back to it. Also, I'll throw a couple links in chat. There's a link to the main YouTube channel, Feral Moon Designs, where you can find showcases and time lapses of all my previous work, and showcase videos for every project we complete here on stream, now and moving forward. You can also find a link to the Discord, which is the best place to find all the latest updates to the stream, the schedule, anything like that. Plus, we got an art gallery in there for you guys to share your work with us. We love to see it. And let us know when you're going live or if you have any new videos out in the self-promotion channel. Plus, we're in there hanging out even when the stream's not live. We'd love to have you be a part of that. But anyway, let's hop over here and I will see you guys in just a moment. Also, Dreki Borealis, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday to you. And we'll be right back. I am going to pull up a reference image real quick before we get back to it. Just for the, the desert arid soil. All right. I'm not sure what the best method to do the cracking of the soil. I mean, other than just carving through it. That's probably the best way, I guess. Also, while we're taking a little bit of a hydration break and all of that, and just a forewarning, in about 40 minutes, I will have to go give the dog her meds, so we'll have a quick little break coming up there too, but not bad. Give you guys a look at the actual sculpt that's in progress here. We still have quite a bit of work to do. Fur texture, if there's no fur texture, that's work that must be done. Yesterday we finished up the other ear because we did this one on Saturday. It's a very time-consuming process, but I'm very happy with the end result. It's the first time that I've used this procedure, and I'm loving it. Other than the fact, of course, that it takes so long. But yeah, we were kind of planning things out as far as how to approach the rest of it, and that's the reason why we're doing the base today. Because the next thing that needs to be done as far as fur texture goes is the hindquarters. And that means I need to do the rest of the leg sculpt, and I don't want to do the feet until he's on the base. So we get him on there, I can do the rest of the legs and the feet, get the fur texture in there, so I can do the fur texture up the back, so I can do the fur texture on the face. All because of overlap needs. So, all a process, you know? How do we want to go about carving cracks? Composite tool? Composite tool. We'll give that a go. This is going to be interesting. I can't say I've ever done this. So basically just want to be as random with it as possible. Then we'll just go over it with some ISO. Kind of clean up the Ouch. Benny and the Jets. Oh boy. No, seriously, I'm totally okay with it. I like this song a lot. Got a little bit of crack action in here. Okay. Technically speaking, the fact that it builds up like that around the cuts kind of works. Because we don't want it to be smooth. Except for on the edges. Oh no. Oh no. Don't do that. And again, that'll all just kind of add to it when we start adding the ballast. It's very difficult for me to overlook these things because in my eye it looks like garbage, but I also have to remind myself that we don't want it to be perfectly clean cuts, because in nature, when the ground cracks like that, you got all that little debris pockets and pieces and parts and, you know, little balls of dirt. And then when we cover this with the ballast, it'll just kind of accentuate it. And the ballast will kind of, I'll have to be careful not to completely cover the cracks, but they also won't be quite as prominent once it's all said and done. That bit of excess in there I wanted to clean up. All right. Yeah, that seems to be working out pretty well to get some of the excess off there. Just kind of scraping across the surface there. We'll brush it down and redefine the lines as needed here. Boy, I tell you what, I'm making a mess today with clay crumbs. Once again, now it looks darker on my... What is going on, man? I know I have auto brightness off on this camera. Makes no sense. Hey, welcome in, Mammy. How we doing today? I'm trying to make an arid, cracked, dry soil base here. A what now? The hell is on? That was the end of that song, apparently. Good, just got home not too long ago. Very nice. What the heck? Yeah, it was the end of that song. I've never heard that song with that ending. But yeah, it's going well. Just needed to get this base done so that we can continue on with the things that we need on the Jerboa, because I want to be able to get him on the base before I sculpt the feet. And I need to do the feet when I do the legs. And I want to have that done. Well, I need to have that done before we can continue on with fur. So, but on the top right camera, you can see the ears there. Finished that up yesterday. So definitely making some progress on the guy. Just kind of struggling to make an imperfect base. I like symmetry, you know? So stuff like this is, it just doesn't come natural. But I think we're at a good spot on that. And again, it's going to get covered with what basically amounts to sand anyway, so. All right. Let's hit this thing with texture at this point. Oil. ISO. And then before this thing goes in the oven, we'll reseat the Jerboa. So I have definitive holes that'll get drilled out after this is baked. And we'll kind of go over and touch up some of the cracks as well. Because obviously doing this is kind of close them up, you see? And it probably doesn't show up very much on camera, at least not. Yeah, you can kind of see it, but said you're covering that with another material. Yeah, it's a ballast. It's ballast is, as far as I know, a material. There's all different kinds of ballasts. Like I have a brown ballast that I've used on my. Well, I've used it on multiple things. I went around the edge of the rock base on my mushroom with that as like a dirt layer, basically. And then I've used it on the mandrake as the soil in the pot. And that's one kind of ballast. The kind that we're using on this is what basically amounts to sand. They use it a lot in like model railroads and stuff like that. The different types of ballasts. Because we're working on, this is like a real dry, arid climate, you know. I kind of took out all of the cracks that I added. Does adding texture help with adhesion? Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. The way that you attach the ballast too is basically I'll dilute some PVA glue with water and then brush it across all the surfaces that'll be covered. Oh no. Let's fix that. And then you add the ballast on. And then once that's dry, you spray it down with some ISO. And the ISO will help the glue that I then spray on. It's a spray glue. That'll help that kind of like run into the cracks and all the crooks and nannies and all of that, you know? And once I get these kind of etched in, we'll hit it with the texture once again, but not quite as hard to where it smashes everything closed. Just slightly. And I don't even know how much these cracks are going to show through. Technically, they should. If I'm careful, especially if I'm careful about brushing on the PVA glue. Really curious to see that process. Yeah, we'll be doing that on stream. I can totally do the ballast on stream now. Static grass, I will probably not do static grass if we ever do anything, or I should say when we do things with static grass. Just because it's messy and I don't really want a bunch of static grass stuck to all of my equipment. Love the process with static grass. It's super fun, and the end result is awesome, but it is absolutely messy. And I've even got the less messy process. There's one. Mine is like you put it kind of looks like a big giant flashlight, and you either power it with batteries or plug it in, and it has a metal wire mesh over the opening in the top. You take that off, you put the static grass in there, put that back on, turn it on to activate the charge, and you have a diode connected to the surface that you're going to apply to, and then you've got your glue. Same process as the ballast. You put your PVA glue down. You touch that diode to that to create the circuit for the static charge, and then you shake it. And as it falls, the little strands of grass, the static charge lifts them vertically. So when they hit the glue, they're standing straight up and down. But it does kind of move around a bit and gets where it's not supposed to. So, but there's another process that actually launches it up at whatever you're working on. And while it definitely opens the door to new things you can do with static grass, and that is super messy. Launching it as opposed to dropping it, you know? Yeah, it can be a bit chaotic and a little startling because sometimes it'll arc and make like a popping noise. And I don't like electricity. So kind of puts me on the edge of my seat, even though it's very low voltage, you know. Still not very comforting sounds, you know. And these wood bases, I just get these at the hobby store. They're like $3. They typically need sanded down. And a lot of times that's done with shitty wood that you can't sand down all the way. But once you get some paint, it's hard to even notice. They work out pretty well. I was saying earlier too, I would just make my own, but until we end up eventually, whenever that might be in the future, that we find a new house and move. Not that we're looking right now because the market is insane, but proper wood workshop area where I can have all the tools that I want and need. Because right now I have a circular saw, a table saw, and a band saw, and a handheld router and sander, and that's really it. And I don't even have room for all of that. Not to be in a fixed spot, anyway. Oh boy. Why does this sound quality sound like trash? I'm sorry, guys. Journey's got this. This sounds terrible. And there's the alarm. Yeah, I've even seen bases like that at Dollar Tree. Yeah, possibly. Especially the small ones, like the little small circle ones, which are super handy. I like those ones quite a bit. Oh, I broke a piece. Oh well. It was risky putting those on anyway. I can fix it. And I'm the only one that'll notice it's broke. Because it's not really broke. It's just a little piece. Thanks, Fire Shadow. Yeah, his feet will come out to about here. All right. So those holes will get drilled out once this is baked. Um, pebbles. Pebbles and stones. You know what? I'm just gonna keep that right like this. And we're gonna use this for a little tray. Oh, it's got old burnt teeth in it. Yeah, the teeth we made for him. He's got little teeth that kind of hang out on either side. One little tooth, you know. But I'll tell you what, chat. I do need to go give the dog her meds real quick. It'll be real fast. So bear with me one moment. And we'll put the break screen up. Let me go give her meds, and then we'll come back and get Pebbles done. And then, yeah, we've got about another hour yet on stream. Stream buffered, and all I heard was burnt teeth. Oh, Jesus, we dropped a lot of frames. Why? Well, that's either Twitch or the internet. Not sure which. Let me take a look at something real quick. Weird. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, we only got about an hour to go yet today, but first thing I heard was burnt teeth. Yeah, I was opening that foil and it had two little teeth from the little things that he's got protruding from his upper gum line there. Yeah, I don't know what that was about, guys. Normally we don't drop frames at all, so it's either a hiccup with the internet or Twitch. So hopefully that's not gonna be a thing. We'll kind of keep an eye on it. But yeah, let me go give the dog her meds, and then we'll get these pebbles done and get this base ready to get in the oven so that it's done. And on Thursday, we can start working on feet and all that good stuff. Yeah. All right. I'll see you in just a moment. All right. I do think I'm going to be upgrading my internet too. Not that it's my internet is the problem. Like I said, it's either a hiccup with them or Twitch, but I'm thinking about upgrading from my 500 to 1 gigabyte. Thinking about it. I also think I need to replace the my Ethernet cable from my router to my PC. So, a bunch of little pebbles of various shapes and sizes. Not that small. And I'll just kind of glue these on after the fact. We'll put these on with the ballast is what'll happen. They'll have to get painted and all of that. But yeah, I was looking at my internet providers rates these days, and that's all. I'll have to fix that. It what when they came out with 1 gig speed in my area, it was like $20 more than I was paying already, and I was like, this is already a ridiculous price for what we get. But now it's only $10 more, and it kind of makes it feel a little bit more worth it. What do you think? That's probably maybe a couple more. And I'll just kind of tap these down for a little bit of texture. This song. Revved up like a what? Revved up like a douche? Oh, oh. Oh, God. What's up, Richie? Totally sounds like douche, yeah. Oh, it doesn't make me laugh, I swear. It's a good song, but god damn it. Oh, I'm dropping pebbles. I'm getting the bass done, Richie, so that we can work on the feet, because that's basically the next step. I got to get the feet done so that I can do the fur texturing on the legs, so that I can do the fur texture on the back, so that we get the proper overlaps. And then I can do I'll probably be doing the face last at this point, I guess. Because I got to thinking and looking at it, and I need the back fur on before we do the head, so I get the proper overlap at the back of the head where it kind of meets the back. Been lurking most streams because of work. It just keeps getting better and better. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's taken some time. Definitely won't be doing back-to-back projects of this scale, but it'll be fun to do these more in-depth projects from time to time in between some of the quicker, simpler things. And eventually I may get into the practice of working on a couple things at once just to keep things fresh. We know how the internet works. You know, focus on one thing too long, and not everyone, but a good amount of folks do lose interest. Ah! Ew! I dropped it and then I rolled over it with my chair. Oh well. So yeah, if I get to a point where I've got a couple things going, just to kind of keep things fresh, and for me too, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I'm getting to the point where I'm ready to get this guy finished up, you know? Not gonna rush it, but I'm definitely getting to that point where I'll be ready to move on to painting, at least. Ah, man. Really just having a time holding on to these. Pebbles. Oh, request permission to share a link. I mean to ask, your horizontal chat, is that from Stream Up through StreamerBot? No, for my bot, I use Mix It Up. The vertical or the horizontal is just an overlay through Stream Elements. I could try to remember and see where the link is, because it's like a prefab thing, and then you can customize it. But yeah, I really like it. Wouldn't want it myself, but it looks cool. Yeah, I figured it works well on these screens because, you know, some folks are on mobile and they have it maximized, or they're on TV watch. They have it watching on the TV, so they don't have like chat displayed beside it. So I know it definitely helps them follow along with chat and all of that. Plus for the VODs, you know, and it's not in the way. It's not taking up real estate. It's just, you know, right there. I'd be worried about what people put in there. Well, I mean, between auto mod and Twitch and all of that, things like poop and wiener, like you just did. I mean, yeah, we can't have stuff like that on this stream. We try to keep things professional. You know. All right, those are ready. We'll just kind of paint those up and then scatter them throughout when we put the sand down. I think that's about it today, guys. Well, when we do the tail, we'll build this out with some foil, and then at the tip, where it kind of flares out with fur, I don't get this fur texture. I haven't quite decided yet how I'm going to do the fur texture on the tail. It's going to be different than this, but more pronounced than the fine hairs on its face. And then the tip of the tail where it's all like bushy will be that hair texture, like we've been doing. We'll figure it out. I always wondered how you guys do fur. That's crazy watching it. Yeah, that's my first time doing that technique. Very time consuming and very repetitive, but pretty chill otherwise. It's not super hard. It's just very time consuming. And you got to plan, you know, like I said, the process that I've got planned to do this, you really have to think ahead. Like I had to do the arms so that the back fur will overlap when we put that on. I have to do the tail before we do the back so that we get the overlap into the tail. I got to do these, the hindquarters here, and the legs for the same reason as the arms, so it'll kind of overlay and blend in. And then as the hair comes down over the back of the head, it'll be, you know, moving downward. And to get the overlay on the back hair has to be done first. So you really, that's the toughest part, is just planning it out and making sure that you're taking the time to, like I've been really getting the hang of that, where you manipulate the fur so it's not all laying in one direction. So it's absolutely a process that I will be using again in the future, but nothing I want to do again like immediately. You know what I mean? And those ears, same thing. I want to sculpt a jackalope in the future, but after this guy, he just got pushed way back. He's going back the list of ways, you know. I don't want to do ears or fur for a little while. Gonna need a little bit of a break on that. Anything else? Yeah. I don't like that. Again, it's going to get covered, so it probably doesn't matter at all, but there's like no texture right in here. Next up, a life-size Yaogui for, oh yeah. I do want to do a sculpt of Mr. Handy. And I've got these. Specifically for that. The way I figured, we use this for the core base on his head. I can drill the spots in for the extensions where his eyes will come off, and all of the dangly bits for his arms. A very technical sculpt, but not overly difficult, I don't think. But this would get covered in clay as our first layer, and then we would just build off of that in increments and little pieces for the detail. I've actually really gotten into Fallout 76. I've been having a lot of fun. Dude, me too. And also Minchie finally gave it a go, and she's been playing and enjoying it. We're playing on PC. Yes, sir. Through Game Pass, but Game Pass, PC, and Steam. Well, PC, Game Pass, and Steam are the only crossplay that there is, because it's not really technically crossplay. But yeah, we found a way for her to use my Game Pass subscription on her PC. And if you'd like to know, it's pretty simple. Make sure that the person who doesn't have the Game Pass subscription is signed into their Xbox app on PC with their gamer tag. But if you go to settings, you can change the Windows Store account under the under the Xbox app. If you go to settings, you can change the Windows Store account and just sign in to the store account that has the Game Pass subscription, and you're good. Apparently, it doesn't work with everything, but it works with Fallout. It works with Hellblade. Wasn't disappointed that, or I was disappointed that there wasn't crossplay. My friend and I were going to play together, but she's on Xbox. Yeah, I hope they add it in the future, but yeah, that stuff's annoying. All right, so let me give this thing another look, make sure I'm happy with it. Yeah. Might brush it across those cracks once more, but yeah, I don't think they even have like cross save or anything. In fact, I know they don't. And it's kind of weird because it's attached to a Bethesda account. So technically, they already have the framework there, having an external ID outside of the platform. That if they wanted to do crossplay, it's already there as far as that goes. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend that I know the infrastructure that's required to make that kind of thing happen, but as far as basic systems go, having an external ID, that's one of the things that is needed when you're talking crossplay, because obviously gamer tags are different than Steam IDs and are different than PSN IDs, you know. But when you have like crossplay, it typically has an account that is none of those, that is only associated with that game or that developer. And then you add your friends through that account. And that's how you end up with, like, you know, your friends on PlayStation being able to play with you on Xbox. I think that'll do, guys. I think that's the only thing I can think of, that it's an equipment thing. My friend and I play Sea of Thieves, and there's issues. If she docks a rowboat, it acts like it's on a plane of existence 6 inches higher than I am. Can't drive it. I just vibrate on the rowboat. That's weird. Fallout 76 doesn't allow mods, so there won't be issues there. Right. Well, it doesn't allow mods outside of the client side. You can play with mods on PC, but they're all like... There's actually a mod that adds text chat, for instance. And anybody using that mod in a server can actually text chat. And those mods are okay because they run on the client side. They're not modifying the game. And I think there's like some I think there's some ENBs and stuff, some graphical mods that you can get. I'm really gonna go in here because I'm not happy with this waviness. There we go. Gonna do the same thing over here. That's better. That's better. Looking forward to the new event. Lots of cool masks. Oh, yeah. Fosnock comes up the end of the month, I think. Towards the end of the month. Like the 20th or something. And the map expansion's tomorrow. Shady Valley, or what is that called? Yeah, Skyline Valley, Shady Valley. All right, chat. I think. What did I do with that? All right. I think that's good enough. I need to stop. Stop messing with it, he says, as he continues to mess with it. Still so much of the map that I haven't explored, just adding to that list. Yeah, same. And so I'm level 54, I think. I finished the Wastelanders quest line, but that's the only one I've like finished. I haven't done any of the expeditions or anything. And Menchie is only like level 17. So we got a long while and a lot of content to go. Halfway through a bunch of them. Yeah, I've done Wastelanders. And I've started on the Brotherhood of Steel quest line. What outfit do I wear? Oh, I've got Fallout first. So I have the Ghoul's hat. And I have the NCR armor, I think it is. It's like a long coat with it's like armor outfit. And I have the Mothman dance. And I finally started like gathering and working on building up my power armor sets. When did you start? I think I started playing it a week or two after the Fallout series came out. I got back into it. But if you have Fallout first, they're in the atomic shop. You can claim them for free, and then you craft them at your armor station. Let me see if I have an example here. Where the hell does it save your screenshots? Fallout. Let me see if I can find my games. Fallout 76 photos. There's me and Menchie. So that's the Ghoul's hat from Fallout the series. And then whatever the hell that armor is, I can't remember. You get it with Fallout first, though. Hot tub. Got a hot tub. And that's in my base. My Tipsy Tom vendor. And that was at some other person's base. They had that little ride, and I was like, oh, I need a screenshot. Oh yeah, that tavern is awesome. I like it a lot. But yeah, that's that. That's all the screenshots I've got. Yeah, they may have gotten a few bucks out of me for additional atoms too, Richie. I just couldn't help myself. Currently wearing the tadpole uniform with the bloody squirrel mascot head. Nice. Nice. I'm still trying to do that damn tadpole quest line for the backpack. Good God. What a tedious quest line. You're in yeah, that's what I told Menchie. I was like, this is a progressive thing. We don't need to try to like power our way through this right now. We'll kind of play the game and then come back to it, you know? Oh no! What's happening?
I heard a tap as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door.
Who's that rapping at my chamber door? Throw Dan coming in, catching us. We're gonna have a raid train today. We're gonna have a raid train today. Nah, hey, Throw Dan, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. Love that raid alert. Me too. Me too. It's been a few days since I heard it. It was nice to hear it again. Let me... I can't do this song because I only hear Cartman. I'm sorry. All right. Folks, show some love to Throw Dan. Shout out in the chat. Click that link, drop a follow. Throw Dan throwing some pottery. Throwing some clay, making some pottery on stream. And you should definitely check him out. Show some love. Great stream, great streamer, and a great artist. Certainly appreciate the raid. Throw Dan, welcome in. Raiders, thank you for joining us. You can call me Feral Moon, either any of those things work. All of that is fine. As Stevie Seal would say, just don't call me Bob. I don't know where that came from, but I agree. Accidentally ran an ad just before I raided. So sorry, everyone who came in with me. Oh, no. It happens, man. It happens. Those pesky ads, you know? So, yeah. I sculpt here on Twitch. And I also make videos for the projects. There's a link in the chat if you would like to check those out on the main channel there, Feral Moon Designs. You can see showcases and condensed time lapses of the processes on all of my previous projects. And now that I'm sculpting on Twitch, you can see more of the process. Those videos will just be kind of focused on the showcase part with playlists of all of the stream VODs available for each project. So, yeah, very, very much enjoying my time sculpting here on Twitch and currently working on this guy. This guy right here. This is a Jerboa based on the model from Ark Survival Evolved. And we're just finishing up today, actually. But what we're doing, see, yesterday we did this ear after this one on Saturday. Had to get these guys done. A lot of fur application to go, but we're at a point where I needed to get the base done so we can get him on the base, finish up his legs and his feet, and then start here for the fur texture, and then move to the back and the tail and the face. There's an order to do this so you get a proper overlap of your fur, and that's kind of where we're at right now. So today, I've been working on nothing much to look at, I know, but working on a bit of a base. You can see the crack detail. We're working with an arid climate kind of thing. And once this is baked and painted, before he goes on to call this his final home, we'll cover this with a sand ballast. So most of this will be covered up anyway. But all part of the process, right? So we're making progress. This is day 14. This is the biggest project I've ever done. Normally at this point, we're into painting at the very least. And we still got time to go. An undisclosed amount of time. He will definitely be done by the end of the month. Fingers crossed. That's the plan. I really don't want to be working on this in July. I love him, but I want to finish him, you know? So yeah, welcome in. Thank you again, Throwdan, for the raid. I very much appreciate the support, man. Raiders, thanks for coming along. I wish I had more I could show you today, but like I said, it's just one of those days where we kind of got to get the boring stuff done before we can continue on with the process, right? And we spent the stream working on this, made some pebbles that will get attached with the ballast. This cactus is going to go on here as well. Kind of right in this area. These are where his feet will get mounted in. And I think once it's all done, I think this is going to look pretty nice. So, yeah. Again, link in the chat. Show some love to Throw Dan. Very much appreciate the support and the raid, sir. And we're going to share that love with someone else, too. I'm going to take a look and see what's going on the Twitch here for a minute. And, of course, no stream tomorrow, guys, but I will be back on Thursday. And Thursday should hopefully be a long stream this week. Yesterday, had a lot going on. You know, woke up to find a groundhog in my garage that had also chewed through the wire on my garage door. And I didn't think I was going to be able to stream at all because I thought I was going to have to wait on a garage door repairman. Long story short, found enough slack in the cable that I was actually able to splice the wires and fix it myself. So I ended up being able to stream, and we finished that ear. But then again, we ran into the situation, well, I got to get this base done before we can continue with the hair. So now that we're done with that, Thursday, we're back to the Jerboa. And not even starting with hair. Oh my. We'll be starting with actual sculpting. I know I'm okay with that. What's going on the Twitch today? Anybody we can go say hi to? We got some pottery happening. Oh, there fur stamps. We will definitely be doing plenty more fur. We may even get to it on Thursday. We'll just have to kind of see. I doubt it. I think the feet are going to probably take some time. But that being said, I fully expect to hopefully be able to get a stream in on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Because as you guys may know, we have streams scheduled for Fridays as potential bonus streams, not a surefire thing. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays are our set schedule. Fridays being a potential bonus stream. And then there's always the opportunity for a surprise stream to pop up over the weekend, but they're never scheduled, right? So hoping to get some extra streaming in at the end of the week as well. We got some pottery happening, and we got some painting happening. I don't know what the hell's going on here. What is this? It's whack-a-mole. Whack-a-dick. Whack-a-dick. Okay. What is happening? I feel like we need to raid him just to find out. What do you guys think? Painting? What's he doing? Stream production behind the stream. Or behind the scenes. Okay. So we got some stream production. We got some painting. And Spectrum in Spanish. Because Twitch has the amazing ad serving platform here. I love getting ads in different languages. Very, very good. Very good. Not at all a waste of the advertiser's money, but some painting or some pottery. What do we think? 52 viewers, 29. They're all doing better than me. Where'd the other one go? Ah, 28. The lowest one? We'll go say hello to Dr. Diggity Dank. I found this channel through a raid. I believe it was Cream of Egbert that raided him. No, they did a show together. That's why I followed it. So I could watch the show. They were doing a really cool like song competition using AI generated songs that people in their Discord submitted. Very entertaining stream. It looks like he's doing some wizardry with OBS and stream stuff. We should aim for the lower one. Yeah. And we've rated Be at Easel a couple times now, so we've never rated Dr. Diggity Dank. Let's go say hello to him. 9.5 is on too, but she's at 44 viewers, and we were there not too long ago. So let's raid someone new today. That's exactly what we will do. But first, let's pop over here. Got some thank yous to give out, probably. I do. And we'll get those raid calls out and all that good stuff. Before we do, big thank you to Throwdan once again for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. I hope you enjoyed the brief time that you were here with us. Dreki Borealis, thank you so much for the follow. Thunderpup, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys. Thank each and every one of you that were hanging out with me chatting today. You made the stream a good one, and thank you. I appreciate that. It's always a blast to come on here and do something creative and hang out with all of y'all. And it certainly is a nice way to spend my time and spend my day. So thank you for that. Lurkers, thank you for the support as well. Your support is absolutely appreciated. It helps. It really does. So thank you very, very, very much. Congratulations, Rose. You landed. GG. Gonna throw some links at you all quick. Link in the chat to the main YouTube channel, rather. Feral Moon Designs on YouTube. Like I said before, you can find all of the showcases from previous projects and all future projects. You can check out the project we completed right before the Jerboa, the Grumpy Candle. He's on there with a full showcase. So be sure to check that out. And subscribe if you haven't already for future showcase videos. Also, link in the chat to the Discord. Best place for all the latest updates on the stream, the channel, when I'm going live, any changes to the schedule, any of that stuff. And there's channels in there for you to share your artwork with us. We love to see it. And let us know if you're going live or have a new video out in the self-promotion channel. Plus, we're in there hanging out when the stream's not live. It'd be great to have you be a part of that. So, links in the chat for that. And let's get those sub calls out. Non-subs, or sub calls, raid calls. Non-subs, there's your raid call right there. If you are sub to the channel, you can use that one. We're going to go say hello to Dr. Diggity Dank. I'm going to get that raid queued up. Let me pull that window back up so I can spell. Dr. Diggity Dank. This dude does some wild stuff with his stream, I'll tell you that much. Pretty cool stuff, man. Heads up, content intended for mature audiences. I'm sorry. I know that doesn't apply to some of us, but I won't tell if you don't. Wait, what? Why did it do that? Let's try that again. I'm trying to start the raid. Okay, there we go. All right, queuing up for the raid. Get those raid calls ready. Guys, thank you so much for a wonderful stream today. I will be back on Thursday. We start at 1 p.m. Eastern time, but I may start as early as 11 a.m. Eastern time, 11:30, 12, somewhere in that ballpark. So keep an eye out. I typically do start those streams early on Mondays and Thursdays if I'm able to. But I'll see you then. And until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and hope to see you again on Thursday. Guys, take care. Let's go say hello to Dr. Diggity Dank, and I'll see you guys over there. Later, guys. Richie, Rose, Fire Shadow, anyone else out there lurking. See you guys over there. Have a good one. Bye, guys.